An update on how early voting is going. New financial help is coming for farmers and ranchers impacted by drought. And trout fishing in the state will be different this year. This is the KGOU PM News Brief for Wednesday, October 30th. I'm Deborah Shar. Today is the first day of early voting in Oklahoma. By 12:30, more than 33,000 people cast their ballots for the general election. Canadian County Election Board Secretary Alan Arnold says the high turnout does not surprise him.
A general election for a presidential year is always going to bring out people, but it seems that it's especially busy this year.
Oklahoma added 2 extra days to early voting this year, giving voters 4 days to cast ballots. Arnold says early voting is gaining popularity across the country.
A lot of times they're just excited. They're ready to vote for the person they want to vote for, and a lot of people are trying to avoid the long lines that are inevitable on Election Day at their precinct.
A limited number of polling locations are open through Saturday for early voting. You can find more information on the OK Voter portal or by calling your county election office. State Superintendent Ryan Walters is demanding Vice President Kamala Harris reimburse Oklahoma for the cost of educating undocumented children. KGOU Spencer Plato reports Walters calculated the cost to be nearly $500 million.
In August, Walters said at an Oklahoma State Board of Education meeting, the State Department would be working with districts to review the financial impact for the education of undocumented children. Now, in a letter to Harris, he says that estimated cost is $475 million and expects to be reimbursed. The accuracy of that number is in question, and the administration is under no obligation to comply with this demand. Walters says the State Department can effectively budget or allocate resources without knowing the cost of illegal immigration on schools. The letter comes the same day a report from Oklahoma's Legislative Office of Fiscal Transparency was released that takes the State Department of Education to task for poor communication with districts and administrative mishaps related to allocating federal funds to Oklahoma schools. Walters calls the report a waste of time for the people of Oklahoma. I'm Spencer Plato.
A new drought assistance program is opening in November for farmers and ranchers. Oklahoma Public Media Exchange's Anna Pope reports nearly 80% of the state has drought conditions.
Oklahoma is in the middle of the driest October in state history. For the entire month, Oklahoma State climatologist Gary McManus says the total average rainfall is less than 1/10 of an inch. As a result, the Emergency Drought Committee approved a new program to open emergency drought assistance to Oklahoma producers. Farmers and ranchers in an area where a quarter of the county is in a moderate drought are available to apply. A list of counties will be released later this week. On November 12th, the application will be available at local conservation districts and on the Oklahoma Conservation Commission's website. In Oklahoma City, I'm Anna Pope.
Oklahoma trout fishing will be smaller and later than usual this year, thanks to a 1-2 punch from the weather and the economy. We get details from Grayson Wheeler with the Oklahoma Public Media Exchange.
Normally, the Department of Wildlife Conservation starts stocking trout on November 1st. But trout thrive in water between 45 and 60 degrees Fahrenheit and can die in water over 70. To avoid losing trout to this year's unseasonably warm weather, the fisheries program is delayed until December 1st, according to reporting from the Oklahoma Ecology Project. The trout program has also hit economic snags. Trout aren't native to Oklahoma, so the Department of Wildlife Conservation buys its stock from out of state. Because of rising costs, this year's stock will be about 30% smaller than last year's, and the department expects less trout for at least the next 3 years. These issues only affect the state's 6 seasonal trout fisheries, not the 2 year-round fishing areas. In Oklahoma City, I'm Grayson Wheeler.
You can find more Oklahoma news on our website, kgou.org, and on the KGOU AM NewsBrief podcast. I'm Deborah Shar.
The candidates for November are set.
I know Donald Trump's type.
Between now and Election Day,
we are not going back.
A campaign season unfolding faster.
Kamala Harris is not getting a promotion
Than any in recent history.
Make America great again.
Follow it all with new episodes every weekday on the NPR Politics Podcast.